Hey Pisces, welcome to your weekly zodiac tarot reading. So let's tune in and let's see what the cards have in store for you this week, okay? And Pisces, remember, this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, alright? Okay, Pisces, I have to be very honest, brutally honest with you, in fact. Okay, your silence has become a shield, and you have been telling yourself you are protecting your peace here and waiting for the very right moment or just needing space. But actually deep down, you know that the difference between sacred solitude and strategic avoidance. So this week cards calls you out. Hiding doesn't heal and pretending does not protect you. Okay, it's getting louder and louder. So we have the Hermit that's guiding the team for this week, and it asks you to retreat not from responsibility but retreat into wisdom. Okay, so imagine the Hermit's lantern. It doesn't light the whole road, it only shows the next few steps, right? And that's the energy surrounding you right now. So for you Pisces, this means clarity isn't going to arrive as a perfect complete plan in front of you. You won't suddenly have the whole picture of what to do next, but if you're willing to slow down and unplug from the distraction, you sit in the stillness and the next step will become undeniable. So this card pushes you to stop outsourcing your answers. Okay, stop waiting for the others to decide or to validate or to even approve. The Hermit says the wisdom you're looking for is already within you, but you need the courage to face it first. And sometimes you have been confusing withdrawal with progress. So you step back instead of reflecting and you just numb it out. So instead of searching for truth, you scroll endlessly, you distract yourself with stuff and tasks or dream. Okay, the Hermit is a reminder that retreat can be sacred, but only if you return with light. Otherwise, it becomes avoidance disguised as peace itself. And now the shadow energy this week is represented by the Judgement card here. It's a card of awakening, okay, rebirth. But in shadow, it exposes denial, delay, and refusal to hear the call. And this is where things start to cut deeper. Okay, Judgement is the trumpet that wakes you up. The alarm that says enough of hiding, enough of waiting. Okay, it's time right now. So, but instead of answering, you have been hitting that snooze button, the alarm clock snooze button. Maybe you've been telling yourself you're not ready to decide, or timing isn't right, or even it's not the big deal of it. But deep down, you know that's not true. Okay, what are you avoiding? Okay, Pisces, ask yourself the question, a conversation you know that you will change everything, or a decision about where your heart truly belongs, or the truth about something you have been denying even to yourself. So the shadow of Judgment warns you that the more you delay, the heavier it will feel. Each day you avoid, the weight will grow, and the danger there here is self-sabotage. Okay, you will keep stuck replaying the same cycle. Okay, so the truth don't just disappear when you just ignore it. It just grows sharper, louder, and more painful if you face it later on. So this is the week where denial turns into pressure. And while that may stink, it's also a gift. So you are being pushed forward to stop running, right? And to finally step into something we call honesty. Okay, so face it with honesty here. And here's where the rubber meets the road. Okay, so Pisces, we have the Five of Swords. Is never a comfortable card. And let's be honest, this is a card of conflict, and we know tension and those hollow victories where someone wins but everyone loses something in the progress. Okay, so this week it shows up as expectation, the outcome, the energy of what unfolds depending on how you handle your choices. So if you face it head on, if you answer the call from the Judgment and walk away with the Hermit's wisdom here, then the Five of Swords becomes less about fighting others and more about confronting yourself. Okay, it's like asking yourself, what are you willing to let go, even if your pride feels hurtful? Okay, maybe it's admitting that you were wrong, or maybe it's acknowledging that what's holding on to resentment costs you more than it protects you. Maybe it's recognizing that the silent war you have been fighting inside your head is straining you far more than any external conflict that you have at the moment. So if you embrace this, lost actually becomes freedom. Okay, so you free yourself from the endless cycle of proving, defending, or even hiding, and you walk away lighter, even if it means like surrendering the illusions of control. But if you ignore it, if you keep on postponing or avoiding or even pretending, then there's Five of Swords, Wands of messy fallout. Okay, arguments, the spiral decisions that make under pressure, words that say in anger can't be taken back. Okay, you might still win the moment, but you will lose the peace, and you will walk away from the battlefield with more regret than relief here. Okay, so Pisces, this week is really raw, and we have the Hermits that say retreat with purpose, not avoidance, and the Judgments that say stop snoozing that alarm clock. Okay, you already know what needs to be changed. And the Five of Swords that say choose the peace over pride here, healing over hollow victories. Okay, I know maybe you don't want to hear this, but you are not running out of time. Okay, you are running out of excuses here, and that's a good thing, because when excuses fall away, what's left over is only the truth. And even when the truth stings or hurts, it always sets you free. So take the silence not to escape but to listen. Okay, take the decision not as a punishment, but as a liberation here. And take that conflict not as war, but as a doorway to clarity for you. So Pisces, you've got this, okay? This week isn't about breaking you. It's about breaking the cycle. Alright, and thank you for joining me this week. If this reading resonates with you and gave you the clarity, don't just scroll away. Follow me and hit the follow button and for more weekly insights or weekly decode. And DM me when you're ready for your personal decode here. Because the collective reading here doesn't give you direction. But where else for private reading, yeah, that's where we uncover the exact path that you can walk. Alright, and Pisces, thank you for joining, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.